Hey guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe as always. So a few more things as updated in the media. I'm going to give you an update on today as I currently said. So the first topic of the development is in relation to Romelu Lukaku as I currently said. So basically since Solskjaer is currently coming, Lukaku was found game time very difficult indeed, because as we all know, in that attacking position in that front line, that obviously Marcus Rashford has obviously been choice over Romelu Lukaku, because Rashford's form's been very good, and as I said, as he's been a United player since the age of 7, he's progressing up the ranks very good as Marcus Rashford. Obviously broke into the senior squad in 2016, but as especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, obviously Lukaku Rashford has been first choice, and obviously Rashford has obviously been playing a key role in that sensitive position as Marcus Rashford. His current deal does end in 2020 in relation to Rashford, so obviously Manchester United are hopeful that we can get him a new long-term deal at the club, because his current deal does end in 2020. I think we are willing, to currently more than double his current wage as well. So basically, as I did say, Rashford's obviously been first choice, because what Rashford can offer in that central position up front, Lukaku, cannot do, is because Lukaku's slow, he's too lethargic. His first touch does concern, does Romelu Lukaku's, as I currently said, and obviously everyone talks about him being a big game bottle of, as I currently said, but he's still a proven goal scorer in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, because he has proven this, throughout his playing career. He proved it when he was at Everton, he proved it, when he was at Chelsea, where Romelu Lukaku currently said. But there was a narrative coming out about this sometime last year, that Juventus were actually interested in Romelu Lukaku, but the reports are coming up about it now, saying that Inter Milan have also showed an interest in him. Inter Milan probably maybe seeing him as a potential replacement for currently Icardi, as I currently said. But the two teams that have been interested have reportedly Juventus have been interested. There was a narrative about it last year. Also to Inter Milan have reportedly showed an interest as well. But I think from Romelu Lukaku's perspective, he does prefer the move to Juventus. So Man United are looking to cash in for the player, and reportedly Manchester United do want to sign either Dybala or Icardi in the summer transfer window, as he does currently explain. Reports have come out saying that Manchester United have actually held negotiations with both of the Serie A clubs, Juventus and Inter Milan, for Dybala and Icardi. So it says Man United have held negotiations. Icardi, who plays for Inter Milan, Dybala, who plays for Juventus, reportedly they are both valued at around £100 million. Reportedly, they are both valued around £100 million. But reportedly, it did say Manchester United have held negotiations with Juventus over the Dybala transfer, and there has been talks that Lukaku, could be offered in the deal. The same scenario with the Icardi situation in Milan. Man United could be willing, to offer Lukaku as part of the deal, to get Icardi, but reportedly Lukaku does reportedly, prefer the move to Juventus. Like it said, so reportedly Manchester United have reportedly put him up for sale, and Manchester United reportedly looking to cash in for Lukaku in the summer, reportedly, because I think his form has been slightly rejuvenated, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. But as I said, obviously he hasn't been first choice under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know mainly Rashford has been first choice in that front line, as I currently said. But it did say Man United are planning to cash in on Lukaku to either land Icardi or Paulo Dybala in the summer. In relation to Icardi, he's a very good player, very good prolific goal scorer. He's a good efficient finisher. He's only 25 years of age. Is Icardi, he's grown and developed, fantastically well. He's valued at around £100 million. I think his release clause is around £100 million. Is Icardi's, if I'm right. So I think his release clause is around £100 million. Is Icardi's. He's currently Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time. Is Icardi. He also was the top scorer for them in 2014-15 and 2017-18 was Icardi as well. And since he's been at Inter Milan, he has scored over 100 odd goals, and he has been in Inter Milan since 2013. So this is his 6th season now with Inter Milan. Previously, he had before he had one impressive season with Sampdoria, where he began his professional career. He actually began his youth career with Barcelona, did Icardi as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have showed an interest in Icardi, to replace Lukaku, or they've showed an interest in Paulo Dybala, to replace Lukaku, as I currently said. In relation to Paulo Dybala, again, very good player. He's 25 years of age. He's Argentinian, he's the same age as Icardi, 25. Obviously, they're both Argentinian as well, Dybala, Icardi. Paulo Dybala, he's a very, very good player at Juventus, but reportedly, as reports are coming out as well, that Dybala is out of favour at Juventus this season. Icardi is out of favour now at Inter Milan, reportedly. So both of that, both the duo, could actually, leave their clubs in the summer, reportedly. So reportedly, we are looking to cash in on Lukaku in the summer, as reports do mention. Manchester United have held negotiations with the Serie A clubs, Juventus and Inter Milan, and reportedly Man United want to sell Lukaku and want to bring in as a replacement either Inter Milan's Icardi or Juventus's Paul Dybala. He's been at Juventus since 2015. I think he's made over 100 other appearances. He's an ex-Palmo player. I think he spent, 3 seasons, with Palmo as well. So there has been talks about that, going on in the media as well. But I think from Lukaku's perspective, he does prefer the move. To Juventus, as reports do explain. As I said, so that's the latest news update on that. But as I did say, Marcus Rashford's obviously been first choice because Marcus Rashford's on every part of his game. He's scoring more goals under Solskjaer. He's looking influential. His finishing's improved as well as Marcus Rashford. So I've been very, very impressed with him. And obviously, Manchester United obviously going to see players, leaving the summer, as I did currently say. So obviously, we're going to obviously have to find, adequate replacements, to get in the summer, because I do expect at least probably 3 or 4 experienced players, to leave Man United in the summer, as I currently said. Obviously, we know the club is still looking, to hire a director of football to come in. As reports do mention that probably Man United are going to get around £200 million spending spree, to spend in the summer. And I do think in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's a favourite now to get the job on a full-time basis, as I think him and Ed Woodward had come to an agreement that Solskjaer now, it did reportedly say, was it last week, reports were saying that reportedly Solskjaer will be named Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, because it did say, I think that the board, it had been revealed that the board had currently made a decision over it, that Solskjaer now remains number one to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United, based on his fantastic progression so far, since he's come to the club. We only lost 1 game, and that was to Paris Saint-Germain, but apart from that, I think, we've played very, very well. We've won 10 out of 12 in all competitions, 10 out of 12 in all competitions. We've won 8 in the league. We've done good away from home as well. We've won 6 away from home in all competitions. We've scored 28 goals, and Solskjaer's got us in the top 4, for the first time since the opening day of the season. Obviously, when Solskjaer came in, Manchester United, of course, were sitting 11 points behind top 4. He did mention he's going to have a big say in the summer, of our transfer plans and all that, but he did say the other day in relation to Ed Woodward that he's identified 4 main summer targets, as I said, and we're all aware where we do need to strengthen up. We need a central defender. We need someone on that right-hand side, as I do keep mentioning. We need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious as well. So these still key areas where Manchester United, of course, still need strengthening up. And as Solskjaer were mentioning that, obviously investments needed, as Ed Woodward is obviously aware of, as I currently said. But if we are going to be potentially future title contenders, we do need a couple of signings into the club, as I currently said. But we'll sort this out in summer, because obviously we didn't get anyone throughout the course of the January transfer window. And obviously we know that Mauricio Pochettino has been number one for a long, long time, to become Manchester United manager on a full-time basis. But I think, now Solskjaer does remain the number one, as I currently said. But Solskjaer, I think, is the right man for the job. As I said, he's brought the confidence back to the team, brought motivation, back to the team. He's brought that fluidity, back to the team as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And I think, he has brought the glory days, to Manchester United, as I currently said, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But obviously, as I did say, questions will be asked, because we've got a big game tomorrow in the FA Cup against Chelsea. But big questions will be asked if we don't beat Chelsea, if we don't beat Liverpool. Then big questions will be asked, in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if then he's the right man for Manchester United, as I currently said. But obviously, since he's coming, he's obviously, been rotating the squad. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, giving the young players the chance and all that, which is very, very good to see, which he did say he was going to do. And he's got the team to express themselves and get them enjoying playing football again. But I think he's the right man. He knows everything about the club. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer inside out. Great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. Won trophies and all that, and scored loads and loads of goals. And obviously, when he was managing the reserve team, you watched some of these players grow and develop as well. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was okay when he was at Mold, to be quite honest, because he won 2 Norwegian titles with Mold and all that. Wasn't so good at Cardiff because he got Cardiff Relegated, as I said. But if we had to get him on a full-time basis, of course, Manchester United will have to pay a fee. to get him on a full-time basis. We've already paid a fee at the moment of around 1.8 million, because to get him on a temporary basis. But if we had to get him full-time, we'd probably have to pay an additional fee of probably around £7-8 million, to recommend him to get the job on a full-time basis. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, but he's got the team playing in the right vein, the right manner, and I think he's got the right mentality into the team as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did say, questions will be asked if we don't win tomorrow. If we don't beat Liverpool and that, because obviously we want to succeed in the FA Cup. We do want to get top four this season as well. But in relation, to update you on in relation to Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said, Man United are planning to cash in for the player in the summer, and reports are saying that we do want to sign either Paul Dybala from Juventus or Inter Milan's Icardi, as it's been going on in the media, in the past couple of days, because we know Lukaku's basically a fringe player anywhere, as I clearly said, doesn't have any pace in that front line, and he's too slow. He can sometimes score good goals, but he's far too slow. He's Romelu Lukaku, and a lot of Manchester United fans, do think Romelu Lukaku's finished in their opinions. And obviously another player, that could possibly leave in the summer as well is Alexis Sanchez. He's another player that could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. Alexis Sanchez, because obviously he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time. Since he's come to Manchester United. Of course, he's been here just over a year now. As Alexis Sanchez, he's obviously on over £500,000 a week. Is Sanchez obviously he's 30 years of age now? He's lost a yard of pace. There's definitely areas of his game he does need to adapt. Alexis Sanchez, but he's suffered a couple of injuries. I think he's suffered a couple of hamstring injuries as Alexis Sanchez. But if he does get more opportunities under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and he does fail to impress, then Manchester United may consider letting him leave in the summer, as I could said. But he's nowhere near the player that he currently was at Arsenal. He's failed to establish himself. He hasn't really fitted in the team as Alexis Sanchez. But there has been questions that he could make a return back to Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez. But he's been here just over the year. But we know mainly he hasn't been first choice anywhere on that left hand side. We know mainly that Anthony Martial's been first choice on that left hand side, because obviously Martial's quite a lot younger. He's a lot younger in his generation. He's a better player now, as I currently said. He's growing and developing. He's flourishing. He's Anthony Martial, as I currently said, and I think he's playing really, really well. And I think he's very, very influential on that left hand side. Martial, he's been scoring goals this season. He's been providing, as I currently said, and he's a very, very good player. Is Anthony Martial, and as I did say in relation to Martial, he's going to be a big, big miss for tomorrow, as I currently said. Because he's influential on the left hand side. He creates the width very, very well as well. Martial's got a lot of tenacity about his play as well. So he is going to be a big, big miss for Chelsea tomorrow. And in relation to Jesse Lingard on that right hand side as well, he's also injured. So Martial and Jesse Lingard are both injured. As obviously as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed that they are going to miss tomorrow's game. They are going to miss the Liverpool game as well. So they are going to be two key losses, because they're very, very young in the generation. Both players, they've both got pace out on that wide position. Lingard's got great pace. And Lingard's progression's been very, very good at Manchester United, and as I said, especially since Solskjaer's coming, Lingard's progression's been very, very good indeed. But Lingard has suffered some kind of hamstring injury. Martial's suffered some kind of groin injury, as I said. So they are going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, I think, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm, as I currently said. But they've both got pace, and they are going to be big, big miss, tomorrow against Chelsea, as I currently said. And I'm, really, really concerned about that, and to be quite honest with you. So obviously, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to do, he's obviously going to rotate, that attacking line, obviously against Chelsea a little bit. Whether he probably may start Sanchez from the start, to obviously, replace, the absence Martial. He probably maybe start Juan Mata on the right hand side, to replace the absent, Jesse Lingard as well. He has mentioned a couple of young players, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that he could maybe start. I think Mason Greenwood got mentioned, but I think he's suffered some kind of injuries. Mason Greenwood, so he won't be starting. I think Angel Gomez got mentioned. I think also that Chong got mentioned, made his senior debut, his first team debut against Reading, when he came on as substitute, in the FA Cup third round, as I said. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does rotate that attacking line. Lukaku could be in contention to start against Chelsea as well. But as you see, if you've got Mata and Sanchez on that, if you've got Sanchez on the left, you've got Mata on the right, there's no bags of pace out wide, because Lingard and Martial do provide that pace, as I said. And when they came off against PSG, on currently Tuesday. As you could see, obviously the bags of pace, was currently knocked out of the team, as I currently have said. So that's going to give me a huge concern, as I currently have said. So it probably will be Juan Mata that could be in contention starting that right hand side. And obviously Juan Mata, as I currently said, Man United, of course, have been in talks of getting Juan Mata a new 1 year extension on his current contract, as we all know. I think Juan Mata's keen on a 2 year deal, but Man United are only willing to offer him a 1 year deal, considering that he is age 30. And obviously Juan Mata's lost the pace. Now I still think he's a consistent player, but he's lost that pace. He's aging up. He's 30 years of age now. He's Juan Mata. He's been in the Premier League a lot of years now. He has been here, of course, since 2014 as Juan Mata, as we all know. He's made over 200 appearances, as I said. And, he's been in the Premier League a lot of years. This was including his 3 years, he had with Chelsea. And obviously Barcelona would interest him throughout the course of the January window. I did mention that Arsenal would interest him as well, but he had a lot of experience, Juan Mata, of playing in Spain, and he was a lot younger in his prime, because that's where basically he began his career. So he could possibly be in contention, to start on Monday as well. He could be in contention, to start on Monday as well. But, apart from the PSG result, I've been impressed, with the progression of the team. I think the team has been rejuvenated, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming as you can still see, though, especially in the Premier League, we're scoring more goals, we're creating more chances. We can see that defenders are willing to play out from the back, as I currently said. We have got good ball playing midfielders in the likes of Herrera, Matic, and Pogba, who I do think complement each other very, very well in our midfield, and obviously they look very, very effective indeed. So you can see the vast improvements in Solskjaer's coming, but as I did say, we do still need signings in that team. But another player I've been very, very impressed with, and that's been Ander Herrera. As I currently said, I've been very, very impressed, with his fantastic progression he's made at Manchester United, and I think he's been a very, very consistent player since we got him in 2014 from Atletico Bilbao. So this is his 5th season now at Manchester United. Obviously, I hope somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract, Ander Herrera, because obviously he's been a very, very consistent player. But I think especially since Solskjaer's coming, he's playing a bigger part in the team. He's playing more regularly from the start. He's Ander Herrera, and I think he's improved on every part of his game. As Ander Herrera, as I currently said, I think he's good at breaking up the play as well, and I think he's complementing our midfield well alongside Matic and Paul Pogba. And I've been very, very impressed with Paul Pogba, and it's a shame he's going to be missing the second leg of the Champions League, because Paul Pogba has been one of our most influential players, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. I think his time of his runs have been good. I think his breaks box to box have been very, very good. He has been playing them delicate passes through, as well as Paul Pogba, and he has been scoring and providing. He has been providing good service, to the front men as Paul Pogba as well. Well, nice phone's charging. But as I was saying, he's been providing good service to the front men as Paul Pogba as well, and hopefully somewhere along the line we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract at Manchester United, because he's currently got 2 years left on his current deal as Paul Pogba, as I currently said. But he's been absolutely fantastic indeed, and he has, mainly under Solskjaer, been getting the freedom, to express himself very, very well indeed as Paul Pogba. Also, who I've been really, really impressed with is Victor Lindelof. I think his progression's been very, very good this season. I think he's dramatically improved this season as Victor Lindelof, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. And I think him and Bay, complement each other very, very well in our central defensive area. I think Bay's got great potential, even though he's been in and out of the team this season. But I think now more often it will be Bay and Victor Lindelof as our centre-back partnership, because they are building a bond together. They're blending in very, very well together, Victor Lindelof and Eric Bay. But I think Victor Lindelof's improved this season, showing that determination that he can play out from the back and gallop forward. His passing's improved as well as Victor Lindelof. So I've been very, very impressed with him indeed this season as well. But I think him and Bay, complement each other very, very well. And as I did currently say, they're on another level, to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. As I currently said, Phil Jones has been here a number of years now, as we all currently know. He's known for injuries, so he's an injury-prone player. He can sometimes be good when he gets in run a game, but I don't really, really rate Phil Jones anymore, to be quite honest with you. And obviously, in relation to Chris Smalling, he's been here, his 9th season now, Manchester United, just recently recovered from an injury as well. Don't really highly rate him now, to be quite honest with you. But Jones and Smalling are nowhere near on the same levels as Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, as I currently said. But it's important that we do get a strong central defender, an experienced centre back, that can have a go alongside Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. So that is very, very important indeed. Because Phil Jones and Chris Smalling could still maybe leave in the summer. Even though both players have signed new deals this season. As I said, I was disappointed about Jones signing a new deal. To be quite honest with you, but it's important that Manchester United do get a strong central defender in. As I currently said, as we all currently know, and also too, in relation to Marcus Rojo, he's still currently injured. I think it did confirm he he has returned back to training as Marcus Rojo, but he's a player that's enjoyed a very, very difficult time. To be quite honest with you, since he's come to Manchester United, Marcus Rojo, he struggled to get a run of games under his belt. He struggled with his fitness regime. Suffered a hell of a lot of injuries. Since he's come to Manchester United, and he's good there as a backup option. He's Marcus Rojo, as I currently said, and his versatility at the back, he's very, very good because he can play in quite a few key positions. But could he leave Manchester United in the summer as well? To make room in that central defensive area. But that's one of the key areas we do need to strengthen up. We do need a central defender, as I currently said. And of course, in relation as well on that right hand side, I think we do need someone on that right hand side. To be quite honest with you, because as I do keep mentioning, on that right hand side, Ashley Young. Obviously, he's just signed a one year extension on his contract. Obviously, he's been here a number of years now. Manchester United as Ashley Young. He has been here since 2011. As Ashley Young, as we all currently know, he's made over 200 appearances. Of course, he's won everything here as a player at Manchester United as well. He's won everything in English football as Ashley Young, as I currently said. But he's age 33 now. He's too old now. He's Ashley Young, as we all currently know. He's too old now. He's Ashley Young. Could he still potentially maybe leaving this summer? But obviously, we know mainly he has been our first choice right back as Ashley Young, as we all could know. He's been his first choice right back, as I said. When he was young, he was mainly a right winger, but obviously he's mainly a right back. Obviously we operate him as a right back as most recent anywhere. And in relation to Antonio Valencia, he's another player I think could leave Manchester United in the summer, because there was speculation of him leaving throughout the course of the January window, because he's obviously had a couple of injuries this season, so that means he's hardly featured in the Premier League this season. And obviously Ashley Young is obviously first choice above him. But in relation to Valencia, he's just suffered another injury, so he is out for a couple of weeks. He's Antonio Valencia, and he's been one of the longest servants here at Manchester United. He's been here, of course, since 2009. As Antonio Valencia, he's made over 300 appearances. Of course, won everything here as well as Antonio Valencia. But could he leave Manchester United in the summer as well? So I do think maybe we do need someone at that right back position, as a backup, to Diego Dalot, because Diego Dalot, we got him last summer. Obviously, he's only very, very young. He's 19, so he hasn't really got that experience as yet. So I do think we need someone as a backup option on that right hand side, because I said Valencia's 33, Ashley Young's 33, so potentially, they have currently both passed it, as I currently said. They have currently both passed it, as I currently said. And in relation, another player that could leave in the summer as well is probably Matteo Darmian, to be quite honest with you. Matteo Darmian, of course, has just suffered another injury, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks as well. He's been here since 2015, and let's be honest, in relation to Matteo Darmian, he enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, since he's come, Matteo Darmian, as I currently said, he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at United as Darmian. He struggled to get a run of games under his belt. He's been lacking game time as Matteo Darmian as well. So I think Manchester United have activated his contract by a further year. We've given a contract extension by a further year, so we can cash in for the player in this summer. If the offers do come. It did say Juventus were interested in Matteo Darmian throughout the course of the January window, so he could leave in the summer. Could Matteo Darmian as well. So we'll probably try and look to cash in for Matteo Darmian in the summer as well. So I definitely think Manchester United. Pissing me off. It always goes off track. It's so annoying. Whatever. But as I was saying, to give you an update on, the relation to Romelu Lukaku, reports coming out saying that Man United are looking to cash in for Romelu Lukaku in the summer, and reportedly did say in the summer transfer window, Manchester United are in signing either Icardi from Inter Milan or Paulo Dybala from Juventus. Man United have held negotiations with both Juventus and Inter Milan over this reportedly. It did say maybe Lukaku could be involved in one of the deals of us maybe getting Icardi or getting Dybala, but reportedly Dybala could be more likely, because as I did say, he's obviously out of favour now at Juventus. So too is Icardi in at Milan, but Lukaku does prefer the move to Juventus, as he's currently explained. But we heard the narrative about this last year that Juventus had showed an interest in Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said. But we are looking to cash in for the player. Both players, obviously, Icardi and Dybala, worth around £100 million, as I said. But Man United may be willing to offer Lukaku as a part of the current deal, as I currently said. And obviously, we're seeing Icardi or Dybala as a replacement for him in that attacking line, as I said. But this is coming out from quite a few media outlets, to give you an update on as I said. But due to, obviously, in relation, to Jesse Lingard, as I said, he's going to be a big miss, because as I did say earlier on in the video, his progression's been very, very good. And we know mainly he's been first choice over Juan Mata on that right-hand side, because we know mainly Solskjaer's been mainly going with the attacking line of Martial on the left, Rashford centrally, and Lingard on the right, as I currently said. But Mata's not really, being first choice, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, as I currently said. He probably will end up signing this new one-year extension at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, Juan Mata, because I still like Juan Mata. I still think he's a very, very consistent player, but as I did currently say, as they currently say, he's lost that pace. Sanchez has lost that pace. Sanchez has been a very, very poor player, since he's come to Manchester United anywhere. So, yeah, and obviously, reportedly, we're going to get around £200 million spent in the summer, because we didn't spend any money in January. Man United has spent a lot of money over the years, as we all know anyway. We spent, God knows how much we spent. We spent £700-800 million since Alex Ferguson retired, as we all know. But we've seen players come in, we've seen players go, and I do think this squad does have everything, to re-emerge as a dominant force again, get a couple of signs in that in there, and, to get us winning trophies on a regular basis, like we did do under Alex Ferguson for 26, 27 years, as I currently said. But Solskjaer still remains confident, as I currently said. When we lost to PSG, he praised the opposition. He didn't blame any referees or he praised the opposition. He admitted PSG on a different level to us and all this. So at least, it's total honesty, coming out from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But going into this Chelsea game, he has mentioned maybe a few youngsters could be involved, as I said early on in the video. And we do know how much of a big game this is going to be on Monday, and we're hopeful that we can get back to winning ways against Chelsea tomorrow, as I currently said. We definitely know Martial and Lingard are not going to be playing, so he's going to be rotating it a little bit in that front line. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but considering that we've got a terrible record at Stamford Bridge, we haven't obviously won there since 2012, as I currently said. So in all competitions, we haven't won there since 2012. I think we once went 9 years under Alex Ferguson without winning there. So we seldom win for Bridge. So we have got a really bad record there. And Solskjaer is aware of the bad record. We've currently got Stamford Bridge, as I currently said. But on the night tomorrow night, we are capable of beating Chelsea, because them themselves haven't been in great form, especially away from home. They haven't been playing well. They got thrashed at Man City 6-0. They lost at Tottenham this season. They lost at Arsenal at the Emirates this season. Did Chelsea as well. They did get back to winning ways in the Europa League, against Malmo. But as I did, obviously that's their objective this season, is to have finish in the top four or win the Europa League, so they can get automatic Champions League qualification, for next season. Chelsea, as I currently said. And reports have been coming out, in relation, to Maurizio Sarri, saying that reportedly he could be sacked as Chelsea manager if Chelsea fail to get the top four, and they don't obviously qualify for the Champions League for next season. So reportedly it did say Maurizio Sarri could be sacked, but Sarri has got that attacking philosophy, and obviously in relation, to Maurizio Sarri, as I currently said, in relation to Maurizio Sarri, he's got that attacking philosophy. His system worked, when he was Napoli manager as well. He's only his first season now with Chelsea. He joined them last summer. Did Maurizio Sarri? I think he signed a 3-year deal, as I currently said. But as I did say, Chelsea are known for sacking managers, because as I do keep saying, they've sacked a lot of managers. A lot of managers in a short period of time. As I do keep mentioning to you, as I said. So reportedly, the pressure is going on Maurizio Sarri. But at home, Chelsea are pretty good at home. To be quite honest with you, they've beaten Arsenal this season at home at Stamford Bridge. They've beaten City early on this season at Stamford Bridge as well. I think they drew with Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. We drew with them early on this season at Stamford Bridge. That's the game that Manchester United should have definitely won, because I think we conceded in a 96th minute of stoppage time. Was it something like that as well? But Chelsea have been bad away from home. They also got thumped by Bournemouth as well by 4 goals still, as I said. But I think that City game, that was Chelsea's worst defeat in Premier League history, and the Bournemouth game was their worst defeat in 23 years. So the City game basically was their worst defeat in Premier League history, as I currently said. But I know it's going to be a difficult game, as I currently said. It is going to be a very, very difficult game, as I currently said. But obviously, last season, we lost the FA Cup final to Chelsea by 1-0. It was an Eden Hazard penalty. They got to the final of the season before, but they lost to currently Arsenal in the FA Cup final. Of course, also Chelsea are focusing obviously on the Carabao Cup final, with Manchester City as well, which is on the 24th of February. The same day, of course, Manchester United, play Liverpool, as I said. But we do know it's going to be a difficult game, because I said last season at home we did beat Chelsea by 2-1, and we have played them numerous times in the FA Cup. So we have met Chelsea quite a few times in the FA Cup over the years as well. But it is going to be a big game, and hopefully, as me as a Man United fan, hopefully we can get back to winning ways against Chelsea, as I currently said. But as I did say, Chelsea have currently got problems of their own. As I currently said, they have got problems of their own with Chelsea, because obviously they've got problems of their own. Chelsea, as I currently said, because obviously they didn't find a replacement for Fabregas throughout the course of the January transfer window. They didn't find a replacement, so obviously they'll be planning to get a replacement for Fabregas in the summer. Obviously, they could still see some of their other players leaving the summer as well. Gary Cahill was strongly linked. There was speculation of him leaving in January. Obviously, Sarri has constantly left him out of the squad. Also, too, as I did say, David Luiz, his contract term is up in the summer. He could leave if he doesn't sign a new contract extension. Of course, in relation as well to Eden Hazard, there's been strong speculation of him leaving Chelsea in the summer and going to Real Madrid. And I do think, to be quite honest with you, he does intend on making the move to Real Madrid in the summer. Does Eden Hazard, and obviously he's been one of Chelsea now much of an essential player he is. He has been at Chelsea since 2012. This is his 7th season now with Chelsea. Of course, he's won everything at Chelsea as well. Well, in England, he's won everything at Chelsea. He's made over 300 appearances, scored over 100 odd goals for Chelsea. His current deal does end in 2020. In the process, Chelsea have been in negotiations trying to get him a new contract. Eden Hazard. Reports have said so far there's been no progression in contract negotiations, but his current deal does end in 2020. But I think Chelsea are willing to offer him around £300,000 a week, to convince him, to sign a new deal. But reports coming out a couple of weeks ago that reportedly it had been revealed that he currently made a decision on his current future, saying he knows what he's going to do, and that he didn't publicly announce it, but I think he privately made an admission, did Eden Hazard, as I currently said. But obviously now he should be hitting form again now anyway, should Eden Hazard, of course, because obviously now he's playing back in his favourite position, on that left hand side. Since he rival of Gonzalo Higuain, Eden Hazard is playing in his favourite position, on that left hand side again. He can actually operate as an attacking midfield as well. But if Real Madrid are to go for him in the summer, it would cost Real Madrid around £100 million anyway, because I think that's Chelsea's price tag. They want around £100 million the Chelsea anyway. So it's probably likely that he will leave in the summer. So if he does leave in the summer, obviously Chelsea will have to find a replacement for Eden Hazard, as I currently said. And obviously, they've got Callum Hudson-Odoi there, who was strongly linked with a move to Bayern Munich, throughout the course of the January transfer window. Obviously, Bayern Munich were willing to offer him the number 10 shirt. Callum Hudson-Odoi, from his own perspective, did actually, put a transfer request in. He did put a transfer request, did Callum Hudson-Odoi, because obviously he's only 18 years of age. Obviously, he's due to the lack of game time he's been getting at Stamford Bridge. I don't think he started a game in the Premier League as Callum Hudson-Odoi, but due to lack of game time, this is why he put a transfer request in. He did want to leave. He's only 18. Chelsea tried to convince him to sign a new contract, but he turned this down, as I said. But he's been a Chelsea player, since the age of 8, as Callum Hudson-Odoi. But as I did say, in relation to Chelsea, were standing firm, they were being ruthless, and they were not willing to let Callum Hudson-Odoi, leave throughout the course of the January window. Bayern Munich put a host of bids in. They were in negotiations. Bayern Munich, I think, put around, 3 or 4 bids in or something, 3 or 4 bids in or something like that for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea, I think, turned three of those bids down. But Bayern Munich have got quite a few players. They've got a squad that's aging up of Bayern Munich. They've got quite a lot of aging up players in there. And obviously, they're looking, to get some young players in their squad, and that can grow and develop. So Bayern Munich, may revive their interest in the summer, as I currently said. But we do know how much of a big game it's going to be between United and Chelsea. It's always a very, very tasty affair anywhere. But considering our bad record we've got at Stamford Bridge, as I currently said, it's a very, very bad record we've got. But as I was saying, at the start, we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's 7:30 kickoff, to give you an update on obviously, as I did currently say anyway. So we'll just see what currently happens, as I currently said. we'll see what happens, as I currently said. But as I was saying at the beginning of the video, in relation, to Romelu Lukaku, this is the main part of this video, to give you an update on Romelu Lukaku's obviously out of favour now at Manchester United. Man United have reportedly put him up for sale. Reportedly, Man United are planning to cash in for Romelu Lukaku in the summer, and reportedly we've identified two replacements, either Inter Milan's Icardi or Juventus's Paul Dybala. They're both 25 years of age, of course, so they're both still young. They're both Argentinian, of course, as well. They are both prolific goal scorers, as I currently said, as well. And Paulo Dybala's been at Juventus since 2015. Icardi's been at Inter Milan since 2013, as I currently said. He scored over 100 odd goals, so Icardi is a prolific goal scorer, as I said. He'd look good in the attacking third of the pitch. I think he'd be a great addition, to our squad, would Icardi. I think Dybala would be a great addition to our squad as well, because reportedly, Icardi's out of favour. Icardi's out of favour Inter Milan. Dybala's out of favour at Juventus, this season as well. But reportedly they are both valued at around £100 million, so they cost staggering amounts of money. But Man United have made plans, to try and include Romelu Lukaku as part of the deal of us getting either Dybala from Juventus or getting Icardi from Inter Milan, as I said. But Lukaku's perspective, he does prefer the move. Lukaku prefers the move to Juventus, as he's currently explained. But we know other names have been mentioned, in terms of transfers and all that, as I have been giving you an update on. We know, especially in the last week or so, we have been hearing the rumours going on about Jadon Sancho, from Borussia Dortmund. He's a player that Manchester United have showed a strong interest in. Reportedly, it will cost Man United around £70 million to get him in the summer, because reportedly that's what Borussia Dortmund are demanding that they want. They want around £70 million for Jadon Sancho. Again, only 18 years of age, as I currently said. He is English as well, and he would be good, maybe to get one or two young players, that could grow and develop, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's 18 years of age, as I said. And reportedly, since he's broken into the Borussia Dortmund first team, his performances have been very, very impressive of Jadon Sancho. His performances have been very, very good of Jadon Sancho. He is mainly a winger. As I said, he's 18 years of age, as I said. And obviously, he's been at Borussia Dortmund, 2 or 3 years now or something like that. Previously, before played in the Borussia Dortmund reserve team, Jadon Sancho, as I said. But obviously, he'll get guaranteed more game time opportunities, if he does come to the Premier League, Jadon Sancho. We know £70 million is quite a lot of money, for a young player of that age, but he's only 18 years of age. But he's a very, very good player indeed. And I think Man United are preparing to put a £78 million bid in for Jadon Sancho in the summer, because obviously he's had experience of playing in English football anyway, because he spent 2 years with Manchester City. Of course, he never broke into the first team with Manchester City. Of course, he was obviously in Manchester City's academy, was Jadon Sancho. And I think he joined Manchester City at the age of 14. And obviously, he actually began his youth career with Watford. He spent a number of years with Watford as well, did Jadon Sancho. But he did reportedly say in relation to Manchester City that would reportedly, if we can come to the agreement of getting Jadon Sancho in the summer, Man United are preparing to pay that £70 million. It did say City would reportedly get 15% of that transfer fee, something like that, because City have got a buyback clause. Manchester City have got a buyback clause inserted on his current contract, as we all currently know. So they've put a buyback clause on his current contract, as we all currently know. He has got a contract now with Borussia Dortmund until 2022 as Jadon Sancho as well. And Borussia Dortmund financially make a huge profit on the player, because Borussia Dortmund only paid £7-8 million for him from Manchester City, as I currently said. And based on his performances, he won the Bundesliga Player of the Month as well, did Jadon Sancho. But reportedly, Borussia Dortmund, they're asking for £70 million for him in the summer. But we know Borussia Dortmund done business, with quite a few of their players. As I currently said, they've done business with quite a few of their players. We saw them sold Christian Pulisic to Chelsea for £58 million. Obviously, he'll be officially a Chelsea player next season, because obviously he's being loaned back to Borussia Dortmund, and he's only 20 years of age. So £58 million fee was agreed on that. They also sold Ousmane Dembele, to Barcelona for around £106 million as well. So they do business to Borussia Dortmund, in regards of their players, that they've had. But as I did currently say, he's not going to come cheap as Jadon Sancho in the summer. But he's grown and developed fantastically well, and I do believe that he would mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite honest with you. And I do think he'd complement our attacking area, very, very well, and he'd be a good option, this player, because he's young. He's Jadon Sancho, just like Lingard's young, Martial's young, Rashford's young. So I think he would be a fantastic, addition, to our squad. And he can score goals, he can provide as well, can Jadon Sancho, as I said. But I think Man United are considering putting a £70 million bid in for him in the summer. But we know other names have been mentioned as well. We know that Felix got mentioned as well. He's another player that got mentioned in the as well. Do you know that Felix? You know that Benfica youngster, 19 years of age, as I currently said. I think reportedly he's rated at around £100 million. Well, his buyout clause is around £105 million. Is this Felix? As I said, he only broke into the Benfica first team last year. Did the player as well, Felix? Reports were coming out about this in January that reportedly Manchester United had showed an interest in Felix. It did say quite a few other teams were interested in him as well. Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player. Man United scouts have been watching him quite on a regular basis, to be quite honest with you, because since he's broken into Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good. He's yet to make his senior debut with Portugal, as I said. I think Liverpool allegedly had a £61 million bid for their bid turned down for him back in the January transfer window as well. So reportedly a few teams have been interested in him. In him, of course, he's only 19 years of age as well. So he's only 19. So could he possibly emulate into the next Cristiano Ronaldo? This player as well, Felix. So he's been mentioned in the media as well. But we know there's been quite a few names we've been interested in. Obviously, the number one major priority target is obviously, Napoli's Koulibaly, as we all know. He's obviously Manchester United, number one target is Koulibaly, as we all know. As I did give you my update on my live video I did yesterday, reportedly he's insisting now, Koulibaly, that he's happy at Napoli, as he has confirmed. He said he's happy, that he's attracting interest, from teams that are following him. But I think he did insist that he's happy at Napoli. He's happy at Napoli. He's fully committed to Napoli. Is Koulibaly, as I said, because his performances have been very, very good under Ancelotti. His performances were very, very good when he was playing under Maurizio Sarri as well. Was Koulibaly, and obviously he's an experienced centre back, and he'd be a good leader in our back line, alongside Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. With Koulibaly, he has got a current contract with Napoli till 2023. As I currently said, obviously Man United have been linked to him in the past couple of windows. We were linked to him in the January transfer window. We were linked to him last summer as well. In the process, Man United had been in negotiations. Manchester United had 3 bids turned down. Obviously, the recent one was £95 million. And if we are to go for him in the summer, he would probably cost us in the region of around £100 million, would Koulibaly. But, recent reports coming out saying that it could be a blow now of Man United getting him, because he does insist now he's currently happy at Napoli. But as I did currently say, he did say sometime last year, when Koulibaly, suffered that racial abuse. He did suffer that racial abuse, did Koulibaly last year, as I currently said. And it did then say he was unhappy at Napoli. He was very, very unhappy at Napoli, as it did currently say, and he was unsettled at Napoli, as I currently said. But now as it stands, I think he feels very, very happy at Napoli. We know he's our major priority target for the summer, but now it could come to a conclusion, our pursuit of getting him in the summer, because he's insisting, that he's very, very happy with Napoli. He's 27 years of age, of course. Still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's tall as well, which is very, very beneficial. But every area of his game, he adapts very, very well. And we could make him the most expensive defender in the world in the summer if we get him. But I doubt it now, to be quite honest with you, with his recent comments he has come out with. But, we've looked at other defenders as well, as I did say. Alderweireld's being mentioned. I wouldn't want Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. He's aging up. He's 29 years of age, as I currently said. He's Toby Alderweireld. So he's aging up now, as I said. He's lost that yard of pace. As I said, he's Premier League proven, as I currently said. He's probably available for 25 million in the summer, because they've included a release clause of Tottenham of 25 million release clause, because they actually activated his contract, until 2020, Alderweireld. But he's aging up. He's 29, as I said. So I wouldn't really want to see him coming now, to be quite honest with you, because I think, he has lost the yard of pace, as Alderweireld, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But yeah, there's been a few names, we've been interested in as well. Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar has been mentioned, 23 years of age. Obviously, 4 years younger than 4 years younger, than Koulibaly. He's nowhere near the same level or calibre as Koulibaly, but he's only 23. Inter Milan are keen on getting him a contract renewal as well, Milan Skriniar. But reportedly Manchester United, could go for him in the summer as well. I think he's valued at around £75 million, Milan Skriniar. So his name's been mentioned as well. So we've been interested in quite a few central defenders, because that's obviously one of the key positions we do need to strengthen up. And obviously we know there's been talks going on in the last couple of weeks as well about what's his name, Douglas Costa as well. He's another name that's been mentioned. We probably won't go for him in the summer, but a few media reports have been updating in the past couple of weeks that reportedly Man United have been interested in getting Douglas Costa, to come in the summer. Reports did emerge saying that it could be available for around £53 million in the summer, Douglas Costa, because obviously since Ronaldo's arrival to Juventus, Douglas Costa, has found around game time very, very difficult indeed, you know, this season, Douglas Costa, but he's mainly a winger. He's 28, he's Brazilian, but I think he's a good player, Douglas Costa. His dribbling's good, he can put crosses into the box as well, can Douglas Costa. There was a narrative about this last year that reportedly Man United had showed an interest, would expressed his interest, and Man United reportedly had a £54 million bid turned down for Douglas Costa. Obviously, Juventus, he's won trophies though throughout his playing career because he has been a very, very influential player. Juventus obviously got him last summer for £36 million for Bayern Munich. Well, they made the deal permanent because previously he was on a one-year loan with Juventus, was Douglas Costa, as I currently said. So he's a good experienced player, and I think he's a talented player, but as they currently say, probably Man United will not go for him in the because he's obviously better options out there, as I currently said. But as I did say, Douglas Costa's still a good player. You know, throughout his playing career, he's been good. You know, he had 5 good years at Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, he had a good couple of years. He had a good couple of years at Bayern Munich as well. And in his first season with Juventus, he was very, very good as well, was Douglas Costa. But there has been reports coming out about that in the media as well. So yeah, guys, so that's mainly everything to update you on today, as I currently said. So to give you the information on the main part of this video is in relation to Romelu Lukaku, because in the last couple of days I've been reading in the media, I've been reading quite a few media outlets. The Mirror actually reported on it as well. It did say that Manchester United are planning, you know, to sell Lukaku this summer in order to either land, you know, Inter Milan's Icardi or Juventus's Paulo Dybala. But it did say we're looking, you know, to raise some funds, you know, for Romelu Lukaku. We know and, you know, Paulo Dybala are worth around £100 million, as it does explain in the current media, as I currently said. But that's what it's currently mentioning in the media. But in relation to Lukaku, guys, as I currently said, he does prefer the move to Juventus. There has been talks. Man United, he did mention that Man United have been in talks with Inter. They've been in talks with Juventus over regarding Dybala and Icardi. Reportedly, did say Lukaku could be involved in the deal, but it probably won't happen with the Icardi situation because, as I did say, Lukaku prefers the move to Juventus. So there could be a possible swap deal, you know, between Lukaku and Paulo Dybala. As it did currently mention, it did say it could. Lukaku could be a part of the deal, as it did currently mention, because Man United reportedly now are considering selling him in the summer, because obviously he's not first choice under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I said, he's too slow. As I currently said, his first touch really, really concerns me, as I said. And obviously, you know, Dybala's out of favour at Juventus this season. It does mention now Icardi's out of favour Inter Milan, you know, as it does mention as well. But they're both 25 years of age, so they are still young. I think Lukaku's 25, 26, but obviously Dybala and Icardi are obviously on another level, you know, to Romelu Lukaku said. But they're both 25, Icardi and Dybala. They're both Argentinian, of course, as well. But he's been at Inter Milan a number of years, and Icardi's progression's been good. You know, in relation to Dybala, he's a proven goal scorer. You know, is this his 4th season now? Is it with Juventus or something like that? You know, he's obviously an ex-Parma player as well. He's, you know, Paulo Dybala. So that's the latest news update on that. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. There will be more live videos coming up very, very soon.